If you're like me and are brand new to creating videos, it can be a daunting task. It involves a lot of research and learning that is going to take substantial time. As I've mentioned before, I am 2 months into this process and I have found that editing is the most challenging aspect of video creation thus far. So first of all, I didn't even know editing software existed, but when I did figure it out, I had to figure out which editing software to use. I found the most popular ones were Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere, and after some research, I settled on Final Cut Pro. Unfortunately, my Mac didn't support either program. That meant that I did have to invest in a new laptop. Once I had the right software, my next step was to get acquainted with the basics of the Final Cut Pro platform. Honestly, it was a little intimidating when I first looked at it because I knew nothing about it. Luckily, I follow YouTuber Ali Abdal, and I've heard him share on his channel that he offers a Skillshare class for using Final Cut Pro. So I subscribed to Skillshare and viewed his class. It was a good way to get started and learn some of those basic editing skills. I still refer back to his course because it hasn't been easy retaining this information. So when it comes to editing, after finding the right software, the next step was transferring videos from my camera and phone to Final Cut Pro. And though the process seemed confusing and intimidating at first, it turned out to be manageable. I might have gotten lucky with that Skillshare class, or maybe it was just that simple. The next step in editing was importing transitions and graphics into Final Cut Pro, and this definitely has been the most challenging and frustrating aspect I've encountered thus far. Okay, let me clarify what I mean by transitions and graphics. Transitions are the visual effects used to smoothly transition between two video clips. Graphics refer to various visual elements such as text overlays, logos, or images that you can add to your videos to enhance their visual appeal. While Final Cut Pro comes with some basic transitions and graphics, the more exciting and sophisticated ones are often found on external websites, and they need to be imported into Final Cut Pro. However, I have faced several challenges with this process. For instance, I've mistakenly purchased transitions meant for Adobe instead of Final Cut Pro. I honestly thought it was all the same. I bought transitions labeled for Final Cut Pro, but they won't import, and I still have no idea why. So these missteps resulted in some unexpected expenses. Not to mention, I forgot to unsubscribe from Skillshare and got charged $160 for the year. But I won't subscribe for next year, trust me, I ain't got that type of money. Ultimately, instead of purchasing things I don't understand, I've chosen to subscribe to some platforms just to make life easier. I now have a monthly subscription to Motion Array, or with Motion Array, for importing all those cool graphics for $30 a month. My plan is to practice importing these elements into Final Cut Pro before I make any further purchases. And I also have a monthly subscription with Canva for thumbnails for $20 a month. Not only has learning video editing involved some unexpected costs, but it has also consumed a significant amount of my time. When I was researching how to add transitions, I got zoned out, trying to figure it out, and when I looked up, 4 hours had gone by and I still hadn't completely figured it out, and that was only day one. Luckily, there are other aspects of creating videos that are easier. For example, creating thumbnails hasn't posed much of a challenge, really. In fact, it turned out to be quite straightforward thanks to the platform Canva. I still have an ongoing list of things I need to learn, but my plan is to keep making videos and improving them. Even though I've put in effort and research into this, I have to continuously remember that making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process, and that's perfectly okay. Mistakes are how we're going to learn and grow.